Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're doing maximum 69 number. So we're given a positive integer called num consisting only of digits 6 and 9, and they want us to return the maximum number you can get by changing at most one digit. So 6 would become 9 and 9 would become 6. So in example 1, we're given this input num equals 9669, and we would output 9969 because changing the first digit would result in 6669, and changing the second digit would result in 9969. The third digit would result in this, the fourth digit would result in this, and the maximum of all of these numbers is 9969, which is this one. So that's what we would return. In example 2, we're given num equals this number, and we would output 9999 because changing the last digit 6 to 9 would result in the maximum possible number. And in example 3, we would return the same, so we get 9999 as an input, and then we would also return that as an output because it's better to not apply any change, because if we do, then it's only going to make the number smaller than it currently is, and we don't want that because we want the maximum. So this one should be pretty straightforward. Basically, we're just going to want to convert the num into, so you can do it two ways, I guess. You could convert this input integer into a char array, or you could convert it into a string or a string builder. I'm going to go with a string builder, and then we're going to iterate through all of the characters in the string builder and basically check if any of them are a 6, because we only actually want to change the number to if it's a 6, because if it's a 9 and we change it into a 6, we're making the number smaller, so we're not going to want to do that. So we only want to change it if it's a 6 into a 9 to make the number bigger. And so we're just going to iterate through, starting from the beginning going to the end, so that we can change the first 6 that we encounter, and then we'll just return that number. So if we don't encounter any 6s, then we'll just return the original number. So let's start by first initializing our string builder. So we're going to say string builder SB is new string builder. And then we're going to append the number so that it can go from an empty string into, so let's say we start off with this, right? We start off with our num is that. Then our string builder would now be 969, like that, right? Okay, so then now we're gonna want to loop through this string builder. So let's give it indices. So for I is 0, I is less than the length of the string builder, I plus plus. Okay, and then we're gonna want to check if the number at our current index is a 6 or a 9. So if it's a 6, then we want to change it into a 9, and then we'll just end here. And if it is a 9, we're not going to do if it's a 9, we're not going to do anything. So if char at I is a 6, then we'll set that into set char at I, and we'll change it into a 9. Okay, and then we'll just break out of this loop. And then we're going to do this for every single index. So let's see. So first we start at 0, I is 0, and then the current char at I would be a 9, so that's not a 6, so we don't do anything. So then we just go to the next iteration. Then our next one, we're at I equals 1, and then this number is now a 6, so we check if sb.char at I is 6, and it is, so we'll set this to a 9, so then it'll turn into this, and then we break out of the entire loop. So then we're done here, and then we just want to return this number, so then we can just return, and we're going to convert it into a string. So just like that, and that should be it. All right, okay, so the time complexity. So we are just building a string builder here with our num, and we are looping through every character in the string builder. So this loop is going to iterate worst case, we could say n times, where n is the number of characters in the string, right? Like for example, in example 2, we iterate this one, the n times basically, because we have to get through every single character before we can actually change the last one, and then we break out, right? Or even honestly example 3, because we don't end up changing anything, and so we loop through the entire thing, find nothing to change, and then we just return it. But either way, like example 2 or 3, we're going through the entire thing. So that is going to be O of n, where n is the number of characters. And then if we think about like how many characters this string builder has, well, that's going to be the number of digits that we have in our original input number. So we could just say the time is O of n, where n is the number of digits in num. And then our space complexity, oops, typo, is going to be the same thing. And that is because our only data structure here is, or whatever, is our string builder, which also stores n characters or n digits, right? It's the number of digits in num that is being stored in this string builder. So that is it for this problem. Thank you guys for watching, and if you found this helpful, please like and subscribe. All right, thanks. Bye.